Okay, just a quick update on what the left is reading. It's pretty remarkable, actually. I read this stuff so you don't have to, but it's important to see how half of the country views an issue that should not be controversial. Deporting people who do not belong in this country is not a controversial issue. People who are not citizens should not be here. That's not the way it is in other countries, and it wasn't when Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or George Bush did it. It's only controversial today because Donald Trump is president, and it's as simple as that. They used to call Barack Obama the deporter-in-chief because he deported so many illegal aliens. Think about that. Barack's a Democrat, but boy, he sure acted like a MAGA Republican when it came to deporting illegals. Tom Friedman in the New York Times writing this weekend how Minnesota beat Trump. I hadn't heard that, had you? I hadn't. Did Minnesota really beat Donald Trump? I must have missed that. Quote, the last year has been one of the most depressing of my nearly 50 years as a journalist, a year where the leaders of big law firms and big tech have bent their knees to King Donald and indulged a cabinet of clowns, not one of whom they'd hire in their own businesses. Cabinet of clowns, Donald Trump. Is he serious? Donald Trump's got a cabinet of clowns. If they're clowns, what's Joe Biden's cabinet? I mean that seriously, not because I work at Newsmax. You're going to tell me that Marco Rubio's a clown, but Anthony Blinken's not? Marco Rubio might be the most successful Secretary of State this century, and in some corners, right now, he's actually the front runner in 2028. What's Anthony Blinken doing right now? Is he a professor at some no-name college in the middle of nowhere? You're going to tell me that Pete Hegseth is a clown, but Lloyd Austin isn't? Remember the Afghanistan withdrawal? That was Lloyd. And remember when he got treatment for cancer and didn't tell anyone, including the president? Hot war in Ukraine, but Lloyd, the defense secretary, just disappears?
We did not handle this right, and I did not handle this right. I should have told the president about my cancer diagnosis. I should have also told my team and the American public. And I take full responsibility. I apologize to my teammates and to the American people.
Terrific, Lloyd. The piece goes on talking about the anti-ICE protests and deadly riots in Minneapolis. Quote, but then I spent time in my native Minnesota and something happened I'd never seen. A spontaneous uprising of civic activism. Meaning the New York Times wants you to believe that the riots and the protests in Minneapolis were not coordinated or funded in any way, which is obviously a lie.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.